Hello everyone, we are back. And I just got the Mustang back in the garage. Well, kind of a while ago now at this point, but it's back in the garage after the Christmas tree race. The car was working really well. These tires that James Tall supplied me are pretty freaking great. And they're not getting cut, I don't think, like the other old one did. They kind of got some like weird cuts from, I think the inner fender had something sticking out, but I hammered it back in. So I think we're good there. Otherwise though, this car doesn't really have anything to do until sick week. Until sick week. Very soon, not really too soon, end of February or whatever. But that's really the only time it has anything to do. But it is pretty covered in things, as you guys can see. I want to add a roof rack to it. That's the only real thing I really want to add. A trailer would be great, but I really don't have the desire to spend a bunch of money on a trailer that gets very limited use. As excited as I am to own a trailer and build it out and stuff, I really can't justify the use I'm gonna get from it for the amount of work and money it's gonna take. Kind of the balance there, but I do want to add a roof rack, and then we could just put the spare tires on the roof rack and all the spare tools and stuff in the back, unload it at the track, yada yada yada, you know. But roof rack would be sweet, and then figure out some way to hold the drag radials, like, you know, some kind of strapping system, just put them right on the roof, and I think that would look cool. So car's probably gonna go like this. Doesn't really need too much. It definitely could use an oil change. This oil's been in there a long time, but it does just run on 93, so I'm not too worried about the oil getting washed, but that's about it. So I'm gonna clean this up. The tree is out there in my burn pile, along with the other tree from in my house. It's starting to warm back up in Florida. We had a very cold spell for a while there. It was like 28, 32-ish degrees, the low of that, and this coming weekend will be about 80. So quick Florida winter, but time to get this thing kind of turned around and do some measuring for my roof rack. So the way that I think about it is, I don't know, I want it removable, but it doesn't have to be removable, honestly. It'd probably be perfectly fine with it. So figure out some kind of roof rack system. If you guys have ever had a SN95, if you guys have ever seen or SN95 with a roof rack, I could use some info on one. Did that take the paint off? Yep, I had it taped there. It's scratched. She's a little rough, but it is a perfect sick week car. So roof rack coming soon. Let's get some figuring out here. All right, guys, this video is sponsored by me. I wanted to give a quick plug for my other channel, Bogetti Studios. It is a podcast channel where I sit down and talk to members of the car community and beyond. We post long videos, probably, you know, 1 to 3 hours ish, and we talk to anybody and everybody that has something in the car industry, as you can see right here. And the goal is to post 1 video a week of sitting down, talking to somebody interesting, and getting a cool story and cool podcast out for you guys. I hope that you guys will enjoy it. There are a few up there already. Go check them out. Thank you guys. Now back to the video. All right, well, we just got to Induction Performance. They put 2 fresh cams in the Camaro. They put a new bucket in, checked the head, cleaned it up, and we're gonna go take a look at it. Alpha's gonna plug into it and make sure that the boost controllers are working. Hopefully they are, see what the problem is there with that. But other than that, should be loading it up today, heading home. So we switched over to the BC Stage 3 Plus VVTi, whole deal. Huge thank you to BC for getting me those cams, getting on board with the program a little bit. We got a nice sticker on the car, and we'll definitely have some great luck with these BC cams. I'm super pumped to be running them. I've heard only great things about them, and I'm glad to hop on board with the team a little bit here. So BC, thank you for the cams, and let's check them out. All right, well, the car is done. Alpha just spent some time playing with it, making sure the boost controller was good, and it seems to be in working order. He got it up on the brake. It worked flawlessly, making sure everything was spot on, and it all sounded great, healthy, and spooled up quickly. So now to load it up, head back down to Bradenton, get this thing washed up, and hopefully get to the track this weekend. Let's go. I almost did it. I almost opened the doors and took the camera out. Done that before. Had some nitrous built up from Alpha doing some testing. All right, strap her down. She's loaded up, strapped down. Time for the trek home and wash this thing because she's got a little bit of shop dust on her. Camaro is back home from induction, just got fixed up, ready to go race this weekend. Probably go to street heat at Bradenton if it's not too crowded. Maybe just go to Test and Tune this Thursday night, but I don't believe so. I think I'll just go to street heat this week and try it out, see how everything works. But I'm gonna unload it, wash it because it's got some dust on it, leaves and stuff, and then wash the trailer because the trailer is looking pretty grimy right now. Like maybe use some super clean or something on this, and then get this thing all cleaned up, put it up on the lift, go through it, make sure there's no leaks or lose anything, and then we should be ready to freaking party. But yeah, you can see how dirty that is. Yep. So time to give her a bath here and get it going. So huge thank you to Induction Performance. Those guys are freaking awesome. You know, they're big team members for me. And then Brian Crower got the cams right here, the old ones I guess. Just looks nice in the box. So Brian Crower cams, super pumped to be using these newish Stage 3 Plus VVTi 276 cams. These things are spicy. So we'll show you guys the old stuff and show you what the damage is. And then, yeah, just clean it up, go through it, make sure we're all good here, and let's get to it on this thing. Well, I kind of washed and scrubbed the trailer a little bit here, and that sucks. I need like a big scrub brush for like a boat, but didn't have one, so just tried to clean off the deck as much as possible, the fenders, and up here, this was pretty nasty right here somehow. I think because I park it under a tree, it gets pretty gross. So time to get the car now. I hate washing things. Paint really sparkles out here. I always just wash it and then dry it with the Milwaukee leaf blower here. This thing works great to just get all the big water spots off. Probably hit it again once all the water starts to beat up again, but always comes out looking way better than when I just dry it by hand. Maybe I'm just lazy. I also always put some plastic under here and a towel so that I don't just get the engine bay all soaked. You can see it's water on things, so I just try to keep the water off the engine bay, keep it simple a little bit, let it dry out here for a little while, and then bring it into the shop, put it up on the lift and make sure everything's good. But starting to look nice, almost ready for this weekend. All right, well, just giving this thing a quick nut and bolt check here, going under, over, stop and frisk, checking out the whole thing. Oh, it's a little foggy in here. The camera was just in the fridge because it started to overheat, and now it was in the fridge too long. Don't judge me. It gets hot. It was out in the sun. But giving it a quick once over here. Transmission line was a little loose, had to tighten those. I saw a couple drips on the ground when we were at induction when Alpha was testing the trans brake, so fixing that. The motor plate is a little loose. I need to tighten that once I go back down with the lift. Just really just checking over everything. I'll probably leave it up, grab some fresh maintenance parts and go through it, checking the converter, make sure all the bolts are tight, because those are normal loosening up items. Where else are we? Kind of just going through everything. Make sure all the heim joints are tight, all the brakes are good, all the normal nut and bolt stuff that you should do when you have a car like this that you trust yourself to go down the track in. So things like this, you know, you check your brakes, you make sure that they're tight, you make sure that you still have some life on the pads, you make sure that the rotors look okay, all of the backing plate bolts are tight, stuff like that. You know, it's good maintenance. Make sure your shocks are tight. I like to check over everything. Oh man, this camera is struggling. All of that good stuff. Drain the overflow for the transmission. That's about it. Just, oh, and I've noticed one of the transmission bolts up here is a little loose, so that's nice. I'm pretty sure that's just a 14 millimeter. I've had this thing out a couple times. I know what's going on. So that's about it. Finish up here and then lower back down. We can get to testing some more stuff. All right, well, car's alive. I'm done nut and bolting it. I've checked over everything, washed it, got the trailer ready. The Mustang is now demoted to outdoors car. It needs to be washed also. It has a bunch of like surface level scratches and stuff on there that I think will buff out. But got a little bit left to do, but that's where I'm gonna end it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it saucy. I will see you next time.